We are praying, Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this county. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interest you've committed to our church. Amen.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we don't have quorum in this house.
And standing order number 32, I want to direct that the sergeant at arm rings the quorum bell for the first 5 minutes. Honorable Badega, could you please assist the Deputy Speaker to whip the members in? Honorable Chair, could you please approach the chair? Honorable Majority Leader, could you please confirm if we have quorum?
Thank you, Chair. We have enough quorum in the House.
Thank you, honorable members. Madam Clerk, take us through the orders of today.
Order paper number 164 of Wednesday, 20th March 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair. That pursuant to the provisions of Section 32 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, I wish to table today, Wednesday, 19th March 2024, a report of the Auditor General on Kisumu County Alcoholic Drinks Alcohol Fund for the year ended 30th June 2021, 2022, and 2023. Thank you.
Honorable members, I acknowledge the receipt of Auditor General report for 3 financial years. The year ended 30th June 2021. The year ended 30th June 2022. And the year ended 30th June 2023 on their consideration of the Kisumu County Alcoholic Drink Control Fund. And I want to direct that this report be taken to the Committee of Public Accounts and Investment for a report to be brought back to this House in 21 days. Next order, Madam Clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order, Madam Clerk.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order, Madam Clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of a report of liaison committee on consideration of the half-yearly progress reports of committees for the period ended 31st December 2023.
Yes, the Honorable Chair of Liaison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. Honorable members, orders number 183.1 compels each select committee to submit half-yearly progress to the liaison committee. Consequently, orders number 183 to mandate the Committee on Liaison to, within 20 days, compile such report and submit to the County Assembly. The committee, via the memo, referenced CAK/LC/2/2024-1, attached here, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, as an annex, communicated to committee clerks to submit half-yearly progress reports for each committee for the period ended 31st December 2023 before Monday 29th January 2024 for consideration and subsequent adoption by the House in accordance with the standing orders mentioned there above. This report, therefore, is a compilation of the reports as was submitted, analysis and presentation of the general performance of committees during the period ended 31st December 2023, and finally presented in fulfillment of the requirement of Standing Order number 83-1 of the Kisumu County Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker and other members, the objective of this report, as stated there above, is to fulfill the requirement of Standing Order number 183 that mandates the Committee of Liaison to compile half-yearly reports submitted by its committees and submit this report to this Assembly for consideration. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, in coming up with this report, the committee examined the reports as submitted by each House committee, and those reports are attached in Appendix 3. Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following findings. And Mr. Speaker, as we all know, the liaison committee is established as established during the period of review. We know its membership as established, that is constituted by all the chairpersons of all the committees in the House. The committee performance analysis based on the number of sittings compared to output raises concerns that despite holding high number of committees during the review period, the tangible results are lacking in some cases. It is clear that resources were allocated for these meetings without a corresponding tangible outcome. And that is attached here in Table 1. Mr. Speaker, a total of 21 papers were submitted to the County Assembly and assigned to 8 different committees for review as detailed in Tables 1 and 2. Mr. Speaker, 6 bills were introduced to the County Assembly, of which one was procedural, that is Finance Bill 2023. 4 of them were completed, while 2 remained in progress, as seen in Table 4. Mr. Speaker, 3 petitions were received and referred to committees, that is Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing, Water, Environment and Labor, and Social Welfare Committees. All these petitions were pending at the end of the period under review. Mr. Speaker, 2 policies were submitted for consideration. One was addressed by the Administration and Justice Committee, while the other was pending with the Education and Social Services Committees. Honorable members and Mr. Speaker, we can see Table 5. Additionally, 12 statements were requested during the period. 4 were resolved, 1 was rejected on jurisdictional ground. The remaining were pending before various committees, as shown in Table 7. During the period under review, committees submitted 32 reports. 23 reports were debated and voted upon, as shown in Table 8 and 9. The remaining 7 reports are listed in Table 11 with the explanations for not being presented for discussion as listed in pages 31 and 32. Honorable members and Mr. Speaker, a review of the County Assembly activities for the period ending 31st December 2023 revealed lack of motions from the initiatives of members. All motions presented, excluding those arising from committee reports, were procedural motions. That is for adjournment. Mr. Speaker, at the end of the period under review, 49 matters remained pending before various committees as shown in Table 12. Challenges. In attempting to come up with and present this report before this House for adoption, the following are the two major bottlenecks that could not allow the report to be presented within the timeline stipulated in the standing orders. Number one, untimely submissions of reports to liaison committee. The County Assembly's smooth operation relies heavily on timely reporting by committees. In its report on budget allocation for the financial year 2022-2023, adopted by this House at its sitting on Thursday, 3rd November 2022, the liaison committee clearly recommended that all committees be submitting their reports every second week of the month following reporting period. Unfortunately, consistent delays in report submissions have become a recurring issue. This only undermines House resolutions, but also disrupts the Assembly overall efficiency. Two, occasional occurrence of a quorum hitch during scheduled time for committee meetings. Lack of sufficient members present to conduct business significantly delayed the approval process of this report. Recommendations. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, all said the committee thus recommends that number one, that to empower members and enhance assembly dynamism, the leadership in collaboration with the County Assembly Board should establish a two-pronged approach, that is, training programs on motion development for members and committee clerks, alongside a recognition system to acknowledge members who actively submit member-driven motions. This will equip members with skills to effectively contribute and incentivize their participation, leading to a more robust and engaged County Assembly. Recommendation number two, that to improve on efficiency and ensure valuable outcomes for the resource allocated, the County Assembly should implement different approaches, which could involve analyzing committee minutes to identify recurring topics and potential roadblocks, and conducting surveys with committee members to assess meeting effectiveness and resources needed. Three, that to ensure timely reporting and a smooth legislative process, committees should consistently submit their half-yearly reports by the second week of the month following the reporting period. Adherence will allow the liaison committee to compile and present its comprehensive report to the House within established deadlines. The fourth and the final one, that to address backlog of pending business before committees, the County Assembly leadership should, within 30 days of adoption of this report, develop and present before this House a policy restricting committees with more than one pending activity from participating in any retreat. Under this policy, the Honorable Speaker would only approve retreats for committees with no outstanding businesses or with only a single matter pending. Exceptions to be made for retreats specifically dedicated to report writing on a committee's existing workload. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, the committee wishes to thank the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Kisumu County Assembly for the support accorded to it towards fulfillment of this mandate. It also recognizes and appreciates the commitment of valuable contribution that its members exercise during the sitting to deliberate on various elements of this report, not forgetting its secretariat for their exemplary performance in providing the needed technical support. It is now my pleasant duty, honorable members and Mr. Speaker, and privilege on behalf of the Liaison Committee to move that this House approves a report of the Liaison Committee on its consideration of half-yearly progress reports of all committees for the period ended 31st December 2023, and I want to call upon the Deputy Chair Liaison Committee, Honorable Vincent Jagongo, to second.
Yes, Honorable Jagongo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the adoption of this report from the Liaison Committee. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to say the following. One, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the number of reports that are pending and the ones that are long overdue, the number is quite big. And Mr. Speaker, I would just want to urge chairs of different committees to work closely with the committee clerks so that we can enhance and improve on timely submission of reports. There are instances where there were questions that were asked by this assembly, by members of this assembly, that needs responses. Some have taken quite a long time without getting the responses. For example, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the issue that was raised on the PMC, how the PMC are being paid and all that, we are getting into another financial year. But the question was asked before we started implementing the projects for this financial year. The issue is still pending. It has never been discussed. So, Mr. Speaker, I would just want to urge the chairmen of different committees to work closely with the clerks of these committees so that we can get this report and then let the report be discussed in this assembly. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say that the recommendation that the committees with pending bills should not be allowed to travel, I think that is a good move. This one will discipline the committee chairs and the clerks to ensure that they give us report before they plan for other activities within their committees. Otherwise, I stand to second the adoption of the report. Thank you.
Other members, a report by the Committee on Liaison on their consideration of half-yearly progress reports of all committees for the period ended 31st December 2023 has been moved as a motion by the Honorable Chair, Nerea Okombo, seconded by the Vice Chair, Honorable Vincent Jagongo, and I propose to put a question that we open this report for debate. Member, it seems the report is so self-explanatory that no member wants to debate. I'm tempted to ask someone to call the mover to reply, but let's give it. Yes, the Honorable Tom Nyaoke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think my senior is trying to pay some debt that he remained with, but nevertheless, I want to take this opportunity to thank the chair for the report that she has read to us this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I think it is high time that we bring everything to sanity, particularly the functions and the strategies of the committees that we have in this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are certain issues that they have brought in, the suggestions and the outlines that they have brought in the report that says that some measures are going to be taken against the committees that are really doing their work rather sluggishly or in a slow motion, Mr. Speaker. I think this kind of thing is going to make sure that the committees do their work at an appropriate time, and that no time is wasted, no time goes for free, because we also know that time is also money, Mr. Speaker. So it is very important that if this motion is adopted, Mr. Speaker, this report is adopted, I think and I believe that sanity is definitely going to come back, and maybe we are going to learn further on way of restructuring the committees that we do have in this House. I beg to support, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Benny Peter Eriko.
Mr. Speaker, This report is self-assessment on our work at the Assembly. How much we have done. That's what this report is all about. And this report is pinpointing for us that there are gaps we need to improve as members of the Assembly. On committee's performance, that is page 5, Roman 5. Is that Roman 4 or 5? Roman 5. Number 1, committee's performance. That is referring to the committee sittings, where the tangible results are lacking. This is a challenge to the committee members that they are not doing well, and they need to pull up their socks. And Mr. Speaker, this has been even echoed here by Honorable Whip when he cautioned the members of just coming to the Assembly and not contributing, and at times causing lack of quorum. Members need to improve on this, because this will give a bad picture of our role in the House. Another matter, Mr. Speaker, is on page 6, pending businesses. We are told here that 49 matters remain pending before various committees. This could be statements raised, reports from the executive to be discussed. If 49 matters have not been handled at the committee level for 6 months, this will show that the committees are not very effective. The work is not flowing smoothly, Mr. Speaker. We need to assess ourselves as individuals and in general as members of the Assembly, that when this kind of picture is given on our work at the Assembly, what picture does it portray? How will our people assess us? Let us try to pull our socks. On page 7, Roman 7, number 2, lack of sufficient, that is also lack of quorum, which is seen to be a major impediment for the work to flow at the committee level and at the plenary. At the committee level, it is good. People do earn something, because the committee sittings form part of the sleep. But the plenary, nothing is being paid now, so people may be reluctant. But at the plenary is where we exhaust what we had discussed at the committee sittings. So we need equally to take the work at the plenary with the seriousness it deserves, and that is what will show that the Assembly is working. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I hope members are going to take their time and pull up their socks so that we are seen to be working. And the matters brought to this House are duly executed. I submit.
Yes, Honorable Patrick Lumumba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report by the liaison chair. The report is a well-researched report, and the recommendations are valid. Mr. Speaker, my contribution would be based on the members' participation. I urge members that they take the work of this House and the committees very seriously, so that we deliberate on the issues that are send to various committees and report back in good time. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution of 2010 actually gave a lot of work at the committee level and not the plenary. So it would be prudent enough for members to actively participate into their various committees, and also I'll appeal to the implementation committee chair to ensure that all that has been passed by the various committees are implemented and report given back, so that it becomes encouraging to other members to know that whatever has been deliberated upon is acted also to motivate our members. Mr. Speaker, I support the report. Thank you.
Honourable members, we are discussing report of the liaison committee on its consideration of the half-yearly progress reports of all committees for the period ended 31st December 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. According to the mood of the House, I call a remover to reply. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Yes, the Honourable Nareo Combo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. I want to appreciate the first adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker, this report, as has been said by the members, is the true picture of the status of reports before this House. Mr. Speaker, looking at the adoption schedule, we can confirm that all members, save for 2 who are away, that did not sign the adoption schedule, confirming that all the chairs on the floor did agree with the report and its recommendations, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to report to the House that the liaison committee looked at the report, and all the challenges that are in these reports had been discussed, and all the loopholes herein will be sufficiently handled by the committee members. And as the chair, I just want to urge the members to share honestly with other members and the chair of the committee, so that the challenges that they may be facing in various committees, that may inform late submissions of reports, or that may inform the delayance or reports being overdue are not met in the subsequent report. Mr. Speaker, case in point are 2 reports. These were statements that were sought on the 8th and the 9th of November 2022 and were directed to the Committee on Water, Natural Resources, Environment and Natural Resources. One was by Honorable Kennedy Oko, the Majority Leader, regarding management of water and general environment cleanliness in Ahero. And another was by Honorable Lumumba in regards to the cleanliness and hygienic conditions in Sondu and Nyabondo markets in Southeast Nyakach. These reports were sought on 8th and 9th respectively. A 14 days period was given to respond and a report given. But since then, honorable members, we are still waiting for the reports to be submitted. And that's why they qualify as long overdue reports. Mr. Speaker, I just want to remind us that the liaison committee has 3 main mandates, whereas regards to committee performances, that as a committee, we guide the coordination, we coordinate the operations and policies of all committees. And Mr. Speaker, we also apportion allocations, that is operating budgets among committees, and we consider as well, Mr. Speaker, members need to travel and sit away at the presence of the assembly, maybe need to prepare their reports. So members or chairs of different committees should not shy away from approaching the liaison committee, maybe in a matter or a situation of lack of or inadequate resources to execute their committee mandates. Honorable members, once again, I thank you for adopting these reports and the recommendations therein. And with so many remarks, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I reply.
Thank you, honorable members. The Committee on Liaison has moved a motion on their report considering half-yearly progress reports of all committees for the period ended 31st December 2023. A motion that was moved by the Honorable Chairperson Nereo Kombo and seconded by the Vice Chair, Honorable Vincent Jagongo, debated by the honorable members, and now propose to put a question for adoption. There are as many as with the opinion that we adopt this report say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it, honorable members, and the report by liaison committee on its consideration of the half-yearly report, progress reports of all committees for the period ended 31st December 2023 has been adopted today, Wednesday, 20th March at 15:38 hours. Honorable members, I direct that this report be published in the website for consumption of the public. Thank you, honorable members. Next order, Madam Clerk.
Order number 9, motion. Adjournment of the County Assembly until Tuesday, 2nd April 2024.
Yes, honorable majority.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I stand to move a motion on adjournment of the County Assembly sittings until 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 2nd April 2024. However, that standing orders 221, part 3 of the standing orders mandates that upon being laid for the County Assembly, the Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy Paper, CFSP, shall be deemed to have been committed to each sectoral committee to deliberate upon. Further aware that the County Assembly has scheduled meetings between the sectoral committees and relevant line departments for such deliberations on Thursday, 21st March 2024 and Tuesday 2nd April 2024, including the hours which pursuant to orders number 28 part 1 are envisioned as hours of meeting of the County Assembly. Recognizing that in its attempt to enhance the effectiveness of the honorable members, the County Assembly has planned for an induction program from 25th to 29th March 2024, an exercise which will directly benefit the performance of members of the County Assembly by equipping them with the knowledge and skills requisite to their roles to meaningfully contribute to the Assembly's work, thus ultimately strengthening the County Assembly as a whole. Further, recognizing that for the optimal participation in both the CFSP review and the induction exercise, adjourning the County Assembly sittings for the affected days is necessary to give members opportunity to fully dedicate themselves to these, which are crucial for the development of this great county of Kisumu. Now, therefore, this County Assembly prays that this House do now adjourn its sittings until 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 2nd April 2024. And Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the member representing member representing Southeast Nyakach, Honorable Lumumba, wanted to second. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable Lumumba.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I would like you to remind my senior, the majority leader, that there is no word called Sondu. Sondu is just part of my ward in Southeast Nyakach. Mr. Speaker, allow me to, I'm being harassed by one lady called Deputy Speaker because she's not on the chair. She feels a bit,
Deputy
the jealous of being there.
Hello? Proceed on the member. Deputy Speaker,
Yeah,
could you please allow the member to submit?
I arise to second the motion of adjournment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the adjournment is timely, and I therefore urge members of this House to make use of the 1 week that they are being called upon for an induction in Nairobi, to make good use of it and come out with something that will enable us to improve on our performance in this House. Mr. Speaker, we also have public participation on Friday. This will give our members an opportunity to mobilize the members of their various wards to turn up in good numbers and participate in the public participation on Friday. I have announced, Mr. Speaker, I also ask members of the House that when they finish their induction in Nairobi, soon after that we'll be going for our Easter holiday. They make also good use of the Easter holiday. It's a prayerful week, and we wish them a very, very happy Easter, full of blessing, and above all, let us also use it to forgive our wrongdoers, so that by the time we come here on the 2nd, we come a clean house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support and second the motion as required by law. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. A motion of adjournment of the County Assembly until Tuesday, 2nd April 2024 at 2:30 has been moved by the Majority Leader, seconded by the Deputy Majority Leader, and I propose to put a question. Then we open it for debate. Yes, Honorable Nareo Kombo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the adjournment of the House until Tuesday, 2nd of April 2024. Mr. Speaker, the motion seeks to address two major concerns. Number one, that we adjourn purposely to address issues of participating in the CSFP, and also, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the training of the members by CPST. Honorable members, as has been said earlier on the floor of the House, we know we are having engagements with the sectoral committee engagements with our department, relevant departments on the CSFP. And again, honorable members, we know that public participation on CSFP is slated for Friday in 2 sub-counties. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is good just to remind us that the CSFP seeks to review on the performance of the year and also project on the next financial year, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, taking part in this major event will advise proper prioritization by the public on what they want done for them in their respective wards, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've just mentioned in the report of the Liaison Committee that looking at the report, Mr. Speaker, we found out that this House, it was revealed that the House lacked motions, members-driven motions. And Mr. Speaker, this training by CPST will provide proper training that will enable members come up with member-driven motions for a robust House deliberations and on issues that affect service delivery directly to the people of Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I support the adjournment.
Yes, Honorable Mildred Ajumbo.
I almost said the mover to reply, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the mover to reply.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for Central Seme. I think the members are in agreement, and I want to give it back to the Honorable Majority Leader to reply.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the honorable members for supporting this motion. I think the matters we have at hand are very important, especially the CFSP that sets priorities and policy goals to guide the county government in preparing budgets for the subsequent financial year, which are a matter that is very important for the members to attend to. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the training as has been mentioned by the Deputy Speaker is very important. That is the training by the Center for Parliamentary Studies that will enable members to acquire skills so that they can carry out their legislative duties effectively in this House. And Honorable Speaker, since this motion has been fully supported by the members, I don't need to talk much about it, and I want to say that I do reply, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Members. Honorable Members, a motion of adjournment was moved by the Majority Leader, seconded by the Deputy Majority Leader, debated by the Honorable Members, and the motion that was that we adjourn this County Assembly until 2nd April 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Honorable Members, having adopted that,
then this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 2nd of April 2024 at 2:30 p.m.